Revenue is floating right around $5 million a year. Actual coaching, maybe 5-10 hours a week at this point.
Is it really possible to work less than 5 hours per week in your real estate coaching business and make to the tune $250,000 per year? The answer is yes. And oh, by the way, if you do the math, that's $961 per hour. Not too shabby. And how do I know the answer to that? Because that's exactly what I did. I'm going to teach it to you today, and it's through a method I call the force method. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This isn't a, hi, I'm open for business, I'm now a coach, and suddenly everyone wants to go to you and they download your brain like Neo from the Matrix. That's not how this works. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This isn't going to be 5 hours of work per week right out of the gate. You're going to have to put in some of the grunt work. You're going to have to get in the trenches. And I want you to think about going back to maybe in the beginning of your real estate journey. Maybe you're a flipper. The first time you ever did a deal, right? You had to go and you had to underwrite that deal. Probably took you like an hour to underwrite. And then it probably took you a lot of consulting with other people and a lot of thinking on it, a lot of praying on it of like, do I put this offer in? Do I really go for this thing? And then you have to rely on the contractor, but you're like overseeing them and you're watching and well, why are you doing what you're doing there? It's the same thing with this business, right? You're gonna feel like you need to be in the trenches a lot in the beginning, and that's a good thing because that means that you care, okay? We're not just these real estate education chameleons that say, oh, you can build this business to $1 billion, 5 hours of work or less per week, and you can do it from day number one. No, they're just trying to sell you a course, and that's not what I'm actually trying to help you here. And so I want to set the right expectation, and that is that you actually have to put in the work in the beginning, just like you did on your first flip, just like you did on your first deal, where you oversaw everything, and then the second time it became a little bit easier, third time it became a little bit easier, and then eventually you had a team and you were able to say, hey, I give it all to them, and now I have my time freedom. And if you haven't gotten to that place in your real estate business yet, I'm excited for you when you do. Here's the thing though. In the beginning, if you're actually in the trenches, it's because you care, and that means that you're in the right place because we're talking about making an impact, changing lives, helping people to create financial and time freedom through this vehicle of real estate, just like you're doing. And if you do this the right way, not only can you build this to $250,000 or more, my good friend Mike Shogren has a $5 million per year revenue coaching business in real estate as well. He talks to us right now about how it didn't start out this way, but now he's working less than 8 hours per week. What should be an expectation for someone when they're first getting into this of how much time per week they should be putting in?
I wouldn't even look at tracking your hours. I just put everything I had into it and I just focused on student results. At the beginning for me, and what I would advise people is just focus on the results. It's just like starting your real estate business. Like you want testimonials and case studies that you can show of what you're teaching actually works. And at the beginning, like I coached a few people for free because I wanted case studies.
So if you're ready to do the work, if you got that abundance mindset, if you are very focused on getting people results and you care about that, then you're in the right place. Let's show you how you're able to do this. How do I know? Because like I said, I built this that exact way as well. Eventually it became 5 hours of work or less per week. But in the beginning, $60,000 in year one is what I made. And that was in the middle of 2020. Probably would have made a lot more if the world hadn't just like paused for maybe 5 or 6 months. Then 2021, we made right around $250,000, nearly doubled that in 2022 and 2023. And then I was able to sell the business at the end of 2023. Why I sold, not getting into that. I've actually got the story linked down below if you want to watch that video. At the end of the day, none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for the force method, which I'm going to show you that in just a little bit here. And if you follow that method and you really buy into it, not only are you going to be able to create this money-making and money-producing machine, you're going to help a lot of people, and you're also going to build a sellable asset. That's right. You can sell your coaching business just like I did if you follow this method. But here's the thing. Most coaches get into this, and the biggest problem that they have is that they attract the wrong people. They attract the wrong ideal customer. And so what I want to talk about first of all is how you attract the right person. And it is by identifying right from the get-go who is your ideal customer. Who is the perfect person that you're not going to be drowning in headaches, drowning in time, drowning your energy in these people because they're called needers, not leaders. Now, how do you avoid that? What do I mean by needers versus leaders? Well, when you look at this, there's going to be two types of people that will buy your education. One is going to be the person that says, just show me the path. I trust you. I've seen that it works for other people. I will do exactly what you say. No BS, no excuses. They just go and do it. And that's exactly who you want to attract. And then you have other people who say, well, why does it cost this much? And can we negotiate on the price? And oh, I think I need a little bit more of your time here. I think I need another pair of eyes on this here. I think I need. Those are the needers. You can attract the leaders who will eventually raise up in your business and give you that time freedom, which I'll show you more when we get to the force method, who are going to be your coaches, your salespeople, the people who manage your business really. And then you could also attract the people that say, I just need your time. I need everything from you. I need you to give me everything in your brain, and I'm still not going to be fully confident. The reason that there's so many coaches that do that is because they make themselves the hero of their story. It's always about them, what they accomplished, how they did it, how they were able to create financial freedom. We call this the hero coach. They make themselves the hero. What I want you to focus on being is the student hero, making your students the hero. Not, I did this, I did that, here's how I do it. It's, here's what Jen did, here's what Steve did, here's what John did, here's what Jacob did, here's how they did it, here's how I showed them how to do it, and here's how they are no longer relying on me for information in order to make this happen. They don't need my support, they're doing it on their own. They've flown away like a bird in the sky. They are doing this thing, and they are doing it to the tune of X amount of dollars per year, per month, per day, whatever that looks like. They focus on the results of their students in their message, not their own results. Sit and think about that for a second, because the number one thing about being a coach is marketing. You have to market to the right person. If you know exactly who you're attracting, this goes back to the avatar, and I would really encourage you to go and watch this other video that I have down below about an avatar and how you create them and how you mold this avatar into someone that you know you're going to serve. If you know that down to the T, if you know where they work, if you know when they're listening to your long form or short form content, if you know what the problems are that they have in their life, if you know what desires they have, if you know what's holding them back, if you know that maybe they've even tried or what stage they're at in their journey. Some people that I've helped, they're not just helping people get into real estate, they're helping people that have already been in real estate and need to refine the way that they're selling. This is where if you know exactly what you're looking for, now you can start speaking to that person. A lot of people, what they do is they just go, well, what's gonna hit a viral message? Oh, let me go talk about how to flip houses without any of my own money and without having to pick up the phone. That's fine, but is that the reality of what your avatar needs? Does your avatar want that? Does your person on the other end of this camera have the same struggles and the same desires as what you're speaking to? If they do, then you will be able to help them, and you'll help them fast. And for that reason, now you'll have testimonials and you can talk about how they used your system, your process. You're nothing special. It wasn't because you went and did the deal with them. It wasn't because you brought all the people. It wasn't because of you. It was because they just followed your process. And look at them now. They were here. They were in this place of, I don't have any money, I don't have any time freedom, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I never see my kids, and now 6 months later, I've been able to get one step closer to quitting my job, or maybe I have quit my job. We've been able to buy a house instead of rent, and we've been able to spend more time with our kids and our family. These are the stories that you're gonna start sharing. So maybe you're sitting here and you're like, well, I don't have any of those stories. Well, guess what? I only have a couple stories. I'm starting this channel before I have any stories. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna keep on talking to the person. Right now, you might be that person that I think I can help. And then what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna work on helping more people. I'm just gonna work on being able to create more stories, create more testimonials. You need to do the same thing. Maybe that you already know them. Maybe they're in your Instagram. Maybe they're on your email list. Maybe they're someone that you are talking to every single week. Heck, maybe it's a family member. Just sit down, have lunch with them, help them. You don't even have to charge them. If you can, go ahead and charge them, but you don't even have to charge them yet. Just give them some help so that they can say, wow, that one thing that you told me, it changed my life, or it changed the way I looked at this deal, and it allowed me to be able to do the deal, and now this deal has allowed me to do X, Y, and Z. So I say all that to say, be student focused. Now, the whole reason that you came to this, let's talk to you about the force method, how it allows you to be able to create freedom. I'm gonna give you step-by-step exactly how your day and your weeks and your months should look in getting into this coaching business. F-O-R-S-E, force method. Now, I made this method when I was teaching Airbnb, teaching real estate, and I told everyone that as I'm teaching this, This can be used in any business. And I'm proving that by now teaching you in something that's not related to Airbnb. In fact, it's not even related to real estate. It's related to teaching you how to be able to find clients and how to be able to teach them effectively and then be able to scale this business. So F, find. O, operate. R, repeat. S, systematize. E, expand. Let's start with find. Find. In real estate, it's finding a deal. Here, it's just finding your client. It's finding who you can help to get them the result that you know you can help them with to give them that transformation. O, operate. Do it. You've talked to them. Hey, I can help you do this. Great. Now show me the way. Give them your process. Show them how to get from here to here and give them all the tools, give them all the resources, give them everything they need to be able to be successful along the way. R, repeat. Just do it again and again and again. And again, just like I said, every time you help someone, you're going to systematize it a little bit more to eventually when you say, hey, I've helped 3 one-on-one people and that's probably all I do. I would maybe do 3 or 4 people one-on-one and then I would turn it into group coaching. I helped 3 people get results one-on-one. Took me about 5-6 weeks. Now I'm gonna try to do this with 10 people all at once. Okay, I did it with 10 people all at once. Now what can I do next? And that's the next part, systematize. So we repeated it a number of times and we systematize it to be able to not only do group coaching, but to make this evergreen. How can we turn this into a offer where you have a course, a community, resources, support, coaching that doesn't need a whole lot of your time and can still get people results? The systematizing of that mainly looks like group coaching. It looks like turning all of your knowledge into a course. It looks like taking that thing that's in your mind that you know is going to be difficult for someone to understand and turning it into a tool that they can use instead of a piece of knowledge that they may or may not grasp. If someone's not good at numbers, right, you make them a calculator. If someone's not good at sales, you make them a script. And you're gonna get to this point where you say, wow, look at all the people that are getting results and it doesn't need a lot of my time. And look at all the opportunities I have now to help more people. And that's where you're gonna expand. You just put out as much free content as possible so that you can bring people into this funnel that's gonna funnel them into selling your course and being a part of your community. And the more and more people that join, the more and more people get results and the more raving fans that you have talking about you to where you may not ever have to spend money. I never spent money on ads. The few times I did, I was very hesitant and it didn't work. Spent a few $1,000s on ads, got 0 results, and I said, I'm done with that. I would rather have people raving about me, giving organic leads rather than me having to market and spend money and get maybe the wrong avatar. Now here's the secret sauce of all this. In the S of force, systemization. There are a number of different ways that we can systematize. Number 1, do you have a good CRM? I would like to recommend to you the best CRM out there, Go High Level. It's gonna help you to be able to create funnels, create automation, put all of your communication in one place, put all your calendars in one place, and to build your email list. It can also help you to create your course and create your community. It's literally everything right there in one place. So download not only our free training for Go High Level and how to create your first funnel with Go High Level, but also get a free 30-day trial. Just go ahead and click the link down below in the description. This is the number 1 way that you can start to systematize things so that you don't have to be sending reminders and sending course information and doing all the manual work. Number 1, you have to have it. Even if you only have 1 person, you have to have Go High Level. You need to do that right now. Number 2, the people. The people is the biggest systemizing play that you have here. And I'm gonna go back to my good friend Mike Sjogren one more time because he has built up so many leaders within his community that have gotten results that are now part of his team and helping to buy back a ton of his time. One thing that you said earlier was that a lot of your people on your team, your 27-person team, are former students. Do you think that's the best way to build your team?
I like it because it's proof is in the pudding. I didn't plan it that way, but I just started having some of my top students like helping a lot more people in the community as the community grew. And then some of them came to me and they were like, hey, like, is there anything I can do to help? A lot of them work for me for free for like 6-12 months. And then eventually I was like, okay, they've earned their stripes. Like, let's figure out how I could compensate this person somehow.
So let's talk about 5 areas that you can outsource to people right away that is gonna help you to buy back a ton of your time. Now, number 1 is not a person, it's actually ChatGPT. Thank you, ChatGPT, because you are now one of my number 1 teammates on my team. If you are not using ChatGPT as a teammate, if you're using it like Google, you're using it the wrong way. You need to be looking at ChatGPT as your administrative assistant, as your life coach, as your knows everything about everything, and can give you the answers that you need. You're gonna go to ChatGPT and you're gonna say, hey, I need you to help me make a funnel for my real estate coaching business. That's right, ChatGPT is going to be your copywriter and going to be your funnel creator. So you're gonna tell them exactly what you're doing in your business. If you're flipping, if you're doing Airbnb, it's gonna ask you exactly what you're doing. And then it's gonna say, well, maybe you should try this lead magnet. Maybe you should try this landing page. Maybe you should try this thing. And then you're gonna have a conversation with it about, yeah, that sounds good. What should I call it? Hey, great. What does that look like? Can you make that for me? It's literally gonna do that for you. If you're not using ChatGPT like this, then you need to be doing that. So that's the number one teammate that you're gonna have to help you systematize your funnels and systematize your copyright. Now, after you have all that copy, you have the vision, you have everything, I don't want you making your funnels. I don't want you going on to Go High Level and literally creating these things. Maybe you can do it once or twice. That's fine. We're going to show you how to do that, but you should hire your own Go High Level expert. You can do this from people in the Philippines at the tune of $8 to $12 per hour. And they can do it very, very well. And you can go focus on creating content. You can go focus on creating your course. You can focus on getting people results, and you can let them do the back end work. Here's what ChatGPT told me that these 5 emails should say. Here's when they should be released. Here's what the landing page should look like. Go make this. And that is such a great way to buy back your time. Listen to this. I mean, you don't have to have results yet. You could be doing this right away. ChatGPT and a Go High Level manager right there for $12 an hour. Boom. You've just created a back-end system in your business that you don't have to spend hardly any money on to make this refined. That's the first 2 or 3 people. We got funnels, we got copyright, we got Go High Level. Along the same lines as hiring for Go High Level, you're gonna hire a video editor. The number one way in today's world is video. If you're a blogger, that's fine. If you don't wanna be on camera, that's fine. I would really encourage you to get past that limiting mindset. You can help someone no matter what you look like, what you sound like, how awkward you are on camera, how not awkward you are, how uncomfortable you feel putting your face in front of the world. Just remember, people are going to buy you. They're not going to buy the words you say, they're going to buy you. How do you coach? Who are you? What kind of person are you? On your social media, people want to know, are you a good person? What kind of lifestyle do you live? And do you actually do what you say and what you're trying to show people that you know a little bit about? If you can do those things on your social media, that's your short form content. Just talk a little bit more on your long form content. And once again, go to ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, what's the 52 most common questions that people have about getting into real estate as a wholesaler? Boom, there's 52 videos that you can get in front of a camera just like this, know what avatar you're talking to, film all the raw video. It might take you 50 minutes to an hour to film a 10-minute video. You send that raw video off to your editor in the Philippines who's charging you $4 to $6 an hour. And within 2-3 days, you have a perfectly refined video, just like the one you're watching right now. I have editors in the Philippines that kill it for me. They do such a great job. Thank you to them as well. So that's the third person you need. Now, the more intricate ones that are going to raise up your students. Sales. You've got to have a sales team. Yes, you want to take sales on in the beginning. Yes, you want to learn more about your client, but eventually you want to systematize that. What is your script? What are the questions that you're asking? How are you getting them past limiting mindsets? How are you getting them from being a viewer to a potential customer to an actual customer? This needs to be systematized, and it needs to come from someone that actually has gone through the program. I'm not a big believer in people going and becoming salespeople just because they know a little bit about real estate. Have you gone through the program? What are your personal results that you got? And if you have those results too as a student, you're gonna know other students within the community that have had the results. And so you get to say, oh yeah, my good friend Victor actually joined right around the same time as me. I got 6 properties, he got 8. He's even better than me. Like, you're gonna get even better results by linking up with a guy like that. Oh, by the way, Stephanie, she reminds me of your story. She also was in, yada, yada, yada place in her life, and look at where she's at now. When you have someone with experience that's going through it, has gone through it, and knows the people within the community, knows all the resources, this is the best person to sell your program, bar none. And that leads me to the last person, the coaches that are going to take you out of coaching. You're gonna get to a place where you have so many successful students that you get to cherry pick this. What I wanna encourage you to do in the beginning is start to look for those leaders from the get-go. When you get on the group coaching calls, look for the people that speak up. and actually have great value to share. And don't just like listening to the sound of their voice, but actually want to help other people. And you're going to just kind of earmark those people. And then when you start to feel like, hey, I'm kind of hitting my capacity, I don't want to keep on coaching, I need to focus more on family, I need to focus more on marketing, creating content, whatever that is, you're going to go to that person, you say, hey, you've been a great coach to these students and you're doing it for free. And I got to thank you so much for that. Would you like to get paid for that now? And you're going to lift them up as a coach. You're going to edify them. You're going to also notice that a lot of students, maybe you're coming here and you're watching this and you've done, I don't know, 50 deals, 100 deals, maybe more. You're not that relatable as a coach to the person who has done 0, 1, under 10 deals. I'm sorry, you're just not. You can try to go back to the beginning as much as possible and try to rethink of like, what did I do there? What did I do there? But guess what? Adam, who just closed his first deal last week, and Jennifer, who just joined the program this week, is gonna be like, Adam, I wanna link up. How did you get your first deal? And then suddenly Adam is coaching Jennifer, and then Jennifer gets a deal. And then suddenly Jennifer's doing the same thing for Stephanie, who comes in a week later. And you're creating, without even knowing it, you're creating all these people who are helping each other that are focusing a lot less on getting help from you and a lot more on getting help from the rest of the community. And because of this, you have someone that says, hey, I've done 10 deals. I love coming back to these calls. I don't even like get a lot of value from the calls anymore. I just like helping other people. You lift them up as a coach. You pay them as a coach. You say, you're gonna do the weekly group coaching. I might show up once a month instead of 4 times a month or whatever have you, whatever your cadence is. And you're going to give them the power to be a coach. Do you feel this? Do you feel, especially like how, going back to the student hero story, your students are the hero, not you. And if you can make your students the hero and you can lift them up as coaches, this is going to create a great community that is going to honestly just make a ton of impact. And you get to, I don't want to say kick your feet back, but you kind of get to kick your feet back and just watch your students run with it. So I got to the end of this video and I was kind of like, you know what, I'm supposed to talk about my calendar right now, but it feels like we've already gotten into some really deep subject matters. And I think that I've already provided a ton of value that I just want you to go out and focus on acting on. But if you are ready to see that calendar and you're ready to see where should my hours be going, click on this next video.